Hello everyone, welcome to Yin Yoga. My name is Trishy, and for today's class we will be continuing on with the Meridian series. So come and take a comfortable seat. This can either be cross-legged, kneeling, up on a block, kneeling, whatever feels best for you. Lift up tall through the spine and place your palms where they're comfortable. Begin to attune to your breath and your practice and your heart. We'll be covering the triple warmer, the small intestine, and the large intestine meridians today. If you're new to what a meridian is basically it's energy channels within the body that are practiced within Chinese traditional medicine. So the health of these meridians are important to just our overall well-being. Bring your palms in front of your heart space. Let's begin with a cleansing breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose and then exhaling through the mouth. Stay where you are and extend your right palm out in front of you so that the palm is facing away from you. And then take the left fingertips, place them over the right fingertips and just gently pull back the fingertips. Breathe into this stretch of the hand. And then gently release, and then just do the same thing with the thumb, pulling it towards the outer wrist. Keep all your fingertips spreading wide. And then gently release. Take a moment and then we'll go to the other side. So you can extend your left arm out in front of you with the fingertips facing up so the palm is away from you, and then place your right palm over the fingers, just gently stretching them, pulling them back towards your face. Gently release and then move on to your thumb. So you're pulling the thumb back towards your chest and keeping the other four fingers extended and spread. And then gradually release. Feel free to take a cleansing breath. I'm just moving off my prop, but I'm going to stay cross-legged. You can come cross-legged as well. Sit up tall. And then as you exhale, bend your neck So your right ear comes towards your right shoulder. Keep your chin roughly parallel to the ground. You can either keep your palms where you are, or you can walk the left fingertips out to the side. You want to feel a stretch along the side of the neck, into the shoulder. But be mindful while you do so, giving your neck lots of love. And then tilt your head so that you're now facing your right armpit so that the stretch comes along the back of the neck. Then use your right palm to cradle your cheek and lift your head back center. Feel the sensation. And when we're ready, we can go to the other side. So bring your left ear towards your left shoulder, keeping your chin parallel around there to the ground. Then if you want, you can extend your right fingertips out to the floor. Now begin to turn your head down so that you're looking at your left armpit. Then cradle your head with your left palm and bring it back to center. If it feels right, take a breath. And then come on to hands and knees. And sit back on your heels. Bring your palms out in front of you. And then come on to the backs of the hands. So your palms are now facing up and the backs of your hands are now on the floor. You can either place the fingertips facing each other, or you can bring the fingertips so that now they're facing your knees. Spread wide through the fingertips. And it's okay to bend your elbows, but you really want the stretch to come along the backs of the hands and into the forearms. From here, gradually bend your elbows and lift just the wrists off the ground. So your fingertips are still on the mat. And this will help it come a little bit more into the forearms. And then gradually, just slowly peel the hands a little bit further off the mat every breath or so. And then slowly come back up. You can roll your wrists or just do whatever feels great. And from here, we'll do the opposite. So you can place your palms facing down, either fingertips pointing away from each other, or you can have the fingertips again facing your knees. Spread wide through the fingertips and try to get all fingers on the mat. So this stretches more going into the forearms, also the wrists and fingers as well. And then again, begin to peel the wrist off the mat, but instead of leaving your fingertips grounded, what I'd like you to do is dig your fingertips into the mat. Normally we wouldn't go and dig the fingers in, but all three of the meridians that we're working on today actually begin in the fingertips. So really claw down. And then gradually peel away, stretch your palm, and then sit back and do whatever feels great. You can roll your wrists. And then just take a moment and see how that felt energetically. From here, you might want to grab your props. And then keep your big toes touching, let your knees go as wide as is comfortable. And then sit your hips back to the heels, lowering your head and chest down to the mat. I like to place a block underneath the chest and my eye pillow underneath the forehead. And then you can just extend, lowering forehead down and then reaching your arms out in front of you. The triple warmer meridian, you can either call it triple warmer or triple heater, it's also called sometimes, runs from the back of the hands, on the ring fingers, up the center of the arms, along the shoulders, and up to the lateral sides of the head. It is responsible for body temperature and cold imbalances. Also, it integrates cardiovascular health, the digestive system, and elimination. It governs the endocrine system, which produces hormones, regulates blood pressure, heart rate, and sleep, to name a few. If you have been feeling anxious, it may be that your triple warmer meridian needs balancing. So in Yin Yoga, we hold passive poses for minutes at a time, relaxing all the muscles and finding your appropriate edge of sensation. So you're not feeling pain, and yet you're not feeling any sensation at all. You're in the middle. You always want to be scanning your body and being aware of the signals and help that it's giving you. Slowly begin to walk your palms back in, pressing into the arms and lifting back up into a tabletop pose. You can extend one leg out and then the other if that feels good. And then keeping your hips over top of the knees, again lower the head and chest down to the mat. I'm using the props underneath the chest and head again, and then you can extend your arms forward and down. The small intestine meridian also runs along the outside of the arm at the pinky finger into the shoulder girdle, ending on the lateral sides of the head. It is responsible for the assimilation of nutrients. It helps you emotionally decipher between right and wrong, and also the absorption of ideas. If you're feeling cloudy or have difficulty with thinking processes, this may have to do with the small intestine meridian balance. Walk your palms back towards you while you lift back up gradually into tabletop. If you're using a prop, you can move it off to the side for now. And then drop the belly, lift the gaze, and then bring your spine in the opposite direction, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Come back into tabletop pose and shift over towards the right side of your mat, and then thread your right arm underneath your body towards the left side, lowering your right shoulder, right ear down to the mat. If your hips shifted, just bring them back into the midline, and then tent through your left fingertips, bringing your left shoulder blade onto the back body. Finally, the large intestine meridian begins in the pointer finger on the outer arm. The pointer finger's on the outer arm, runs up the forearm to the elbow crease, up to the shoulder, outer sides of the neck, ending on either side of the nostrils. It governs elimination and our ability of letting go of suppressed negative emotions. It is linked with the lung meridian and our respiratory health. Press your left palm down in order to push yourself back up, and then shifting over to the left side of the mat. And when you're ready, you can thread the left arm underneath now, bringing the left ear, left shoulder down to the mat as you twist open to the right, tent through the right fingertips to bring that shoulder onto the back body, and also pressing on those fingers. Relax everything that doesn't need to be working. Rest and surrender in the stillness within. Gently lift back up. And you can make any movements and adjustments that feel great. You may need a block at the front of your mat. I like to use a block and eye pillow and then lower all the way down onto your tummy. And then cross your right arm as far as you can over to the left, and your left arm as far as you can over to the right. So take a moment just to get comfortable. And then I like to use the block under the forehead, but if you can lower your forehead all the way down to the mat, that's great too. You're really just trying to get an opening into the shoulders, into your wings. Breathe into that space and let yourself rest on the floor. If you feel any tingling, just readjust. And as always, you can come out of a pose in Yin Yoga. Gradually uncross your arms, coming back onto the forearms. And we'll just switch sides, so crossing your left arm all the way over to the right and right arm all the way over to the left. Begin to uncross. And then just move your arms in any way that feels great. Just extending the forearms out in front. And then you can just lower your forehead down onto the mat or prop, just to feel the release. Begin to lift up. You can press your palms into the floor to lift up, to take a seat. You can move your props off to the side for now. So you have cross-legged legs out in front of you. Then you're going to cross your right knee over top of the left one, bringing the heels close to the outer hips. Bring your arms into a cactus shape out in front of you, and then place the right elbow underneath the left, wrapping the arms so that you come into a bind. And if you can't clasp onto the hands together, you can always use a strap. If this is too intense on the hips, you can always extend the left leg out in front of you, keeping the right knee on top. And then when you're ready, you can just exhale, folding forward, resting your elbows wherever is comfortable, and your face and head on your arms, or also wherever you feel you can just place it so that you can relax and stay still. Lift your spine slowly back up, unbind the arms and then the legs. Might feel good just to extend those legs out in front of you, moving them around, pointing and flexing, or just staying still too. Just listen to your body and your practice. And we'll just come into the other side. So bring your left knee on top of your right, heels close to the outer hips, cactus arms forward, left arm underneath the right, binding once or twice. If you find that those hands just can't stay together, you can always grab a belt or a strap. The trick is to really open the back body while binding the front body. Slowly begin to lift up without rushing to unbind. Then gradually release the arms and then the legs. Stretch them out in front of you. Do any movements that feel great. Then cross at the ankles. Come onto hands and knees. And then you're going to sit back on your heels, and you can always use props like I'm doing right here, just to get comfortable so that when you sit back on the heels, you can really lift up tall through the spine. Then raise your right arm overhead, bend through the elbow, bring your palm on to the back of the neck, and then take your left hand and gently guide that right elbow onto the back body. So before we really opened the upper back, and now we're going to open the front of the chest and shoulders. Take a moment just to maneuver and get comfortable. On your next exhale, just release the arms back down by the sides. Might feel good to just roll the shoulders back and then forward. And then you can raise your left arm overhead, bending through the elbow, finding a way to be comfortable, and then bringing your right palm onto the left elbow, guiding it back, stretching through the front body into the shoulders. Slowing your range of motion to release the arms. And then you can roll the shoulders back and then forward if that feels good. Feel the release. Our final pose before Shavasana will be supported fish. So you'll need 2 blocks or a block and a bolster or thick pillow. And the first block you're going to place parallel to the front edge of the mat. And the second block you're going to place parallel to the long edge of your mat, so that when you come and take a seat and then you lower down, the block to the long edge is going to come right in between your shoulder blades. That can also be the bolster or pillow. And then the second block is just to support your head. So take a moment and get comfortable, move things around, make any little tweaks or movements that need help, and then extend your legs out in front of you. And you could place your palms and arms wherever feel comfortable. I'm just have them alongside the body. Relax everything down. And if you use an eye pillow, you can place it over your eyes. Gently wake your body back up, just so you can bend your knees and roll to one side in order to take the props out and move them off. Then you can lower back down. Keep your knees bent, feet on the floor. You can reapply your eye pillow if you use one. Bring your arms into a cactus or T and then just windshield wiper your knees slowly from side to side for a few rounds. Then you can make the transition, extending the legs and arms. Bring your shoulders onto the back body, fully releasing the breath and all the muscles in your body, coming into stillness, relaxing and resting into peace. Expand your breath in all directions as you reach through fingers and toes, maybe reaching your arms overhead and stretching super long. Then when you're ready, you can start to turn to one side, releasing the eye pillow if you were using one, and resting your head onto your arm like a pillow, bending through the knees and coming into a little ball. Then press up, coming to take a wonderful, comfortable seat. Let the effects of your practice just wash over you and see how you feel now. How do you feel? Bring your palms together in front of your heart space. Let's finish with a cleansing breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth. Thank you so much for practicing Yin Yoga today. If you enjoyed this class, please subscribe. Practicing Yin Yoga is so magical. Thank you so much again. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you. Namaste.